Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Year 4 Maths. I hope you had a lovely weekend. We're into the last week before half term. We're going to start this morning with our usual warm-up. As you can see, we have 4 questions as usual. This morning we've got 2 mental strategy questions and 2 written methods. Press pause when you're working on them. Press play when you're ready to start. As always, you have 5 minutes or as close to 5 minutes as you possibly can. So press pause now and press play when you're ready to carry on. Okay, the first question we're going to look at this morning is question C. Okay, 400 times 6. Now this question is, as we've started to look at in the last couple of weeks, is it's using and applying known multiplication facts. So remember what I've taught you, that if you have a question like this, cover up your magic 0, or in this case, magic zeros. Okay, there's 2 of them. So if you cover up the zeros, you're left with 4 times 6. Okay, well, 4 6s are 24, and then you release the magic zeros. Okay, and the answer becomes 2,400. But the important thing is using that known multiplication fact. Okay, second question we're going to look at is 300 divided by 50. Now, this is a little bit similar to the first question in that you use known multiplication facts here. First thing I would do, though, when we're dividing like this, is that if we have zeros on both sides, that we remove 1 or more from both sides. But whatever you do, you have to do the same on both sides. So if you take 1 0 away this side, you would take 1 0 away this side. So you can see here, I've covered up, or taken away those zeros, okay, but 1 on each side. I can't take away both these zeros here because I don't have 2 zeros on this side. So 1 on each side. And that leaves me then with 30 divided by 5. And 30 divided by 5 is 6. We know that because 6 5s are 30. So 300 divided by 50 equals 6. And if we wanted to check that, we could count up in 50s to get to 300. So 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. Okay, next question we're going to look at is question D, 56 times 5. I'm going to give you 2 methods. First method, most efficient method, is short multiplication, the abstract method. We must make sure we line up the columns properly. Okay, 6 5s are 30 then, or 5 6s are 30. We must carry the 3 across, and then 5 5s are 25, plus that 3 will leave us with 280. Okay, 28 there is 280. And the second method, simple partitioning. Okay, 56, we will get 50 and 6. And then we just need to multiply both of those by 5. Well, 50 times 5 is a bit like using our multiplication of known facts. Okay, so 50 times 5 is 250, and 6 5s are 30. And if we recombine those, we will get 280, which we can see we had for our abstract answer. Final question in the warm-up was 2,384 plus 5,313. First method I would go with would be column addition, abstract method. And you can see there 4 plus 3 is 7, 1 plus 8 is 9, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 5 plus 2 is 7. Actually nice and easy because there is no carrying or having to carry across a 10 into the next column there. Or if we wanted to, we could have partitioned. Okay, and if we partitioned the numbers there, we have 5,000 plus 2,000. If we're adding up the thousands, would be 7,000. 300 plus 300 would be 600. 10 plus 80 would be 90. And 3 plus 4 would be 7. And if we recombine, you can see that we have the same answer as the column addition over here. Remember, with all these questions, there is no hard and fast method. There is no method that I definitely want you to use. It's whatever you can use that will get you to your answer quickest. Okay, so if it's whichever method suits you, perfect. In this type of question, it's your choice. Okay, our learning intention this morning is that we're going to try and be able to convert units of length. Okay, so we're taking our learning where we've been measuring things this week, measuring lines, and we're going to be converting units of length. So taking things like meters or centimeters and turning them into meters, maybe taking meters and turning them into centimeters. So we're looking to change. That word convert means to change. And our star words this morning will be measure, distance, meters, convert, centimeters, and length. We will probably use all of those words during this morning's teaching part of the lesson. So our own focus task this morning, you can see on the chart here, this table shows how far 6 athletes jumped. And the question is asking, who jumped further? Was it this athlete or this athlete? And what we'll do, we'll gradually, we will revisit this at the end of the lesson. But what I want you to do is just have a little look at the distances there. I want you to press pause and I want you to look and think. Now, what makes this a little bit tricky? Why is it not easy to compare? Press pause now. Okay, well, the first thing I've looked at and I've noticed when I'm comparing this is that they're not all shown in the same way. The distances are shown in different ways, and that's something that we are going to look at and address during the course of this lesson. Okay, let's learn then. So, question at the top here says, which distance is longer, 8 meters 1 centimeter or 8.10 meters? Okay, well, the first thing we need to think about is how many centimeters are there in a meter? And you can see the young lady here is telling us and reminding us that there are 100 centimeters in a meter. Okay, now if that's the case, we also know that there would be 10 lots of 10 centimeters in a meter, because 10 tens are 100. And you can see on the chart here, I've got broken up 1 meter. 1 meter is the whole bar, and it's been broken up into 10 centimeter chunks. And you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. 10 lots of 10 centimeters make a meter. And you can see there that we've got underneath there, it's shown as 100 centimeters. So that proves to you that 100 centimeters make a meter. Now the big question here is we're looking at 10 centimeters. Now 10 centimeters is 1/10 of a meter. And if you think back to our decimal work, 1/10, okay, was the same as 0.1. So we can say that 10 centimeters equals 0.1 meters. Okay, 0.1 meters. Another way, and I've put like a little note here, is to remember that you could, if you wanted to, you don't have to, but you could, if you wanted to, insert a place holding 0 after the 1. And it means it becomes 0.10 meters, okay? It is the same, exactly the same. Doesn't matter if you put a 0 afterwards, it doesn't matter, but it just, you might find it more comfortable to put that 0 in. It's your choice. And you can see the question up here was which distance is longer, 8 meters 1 centimeter or 8.1 meters. Now, in order to answer that question, we need to use this knowledge here. Which one is bigger? So 8 meters, and 1 centimeter, or 8.1 meters. Well, we've said that 0.1 of a meter, or 8.10, would be 8 meters and 10 centimeters. And we proved that up here with our chart. 8.1 is 8.10 would be 10 centimeters. So in this case, we would know that 8.1 has to be bigger than 8 meters and 1 centimeter. It has to be. Okay, and we can see here that actually if we wanted to show this in numbers, we can prove that 8.1 centimeters is the same as 810 centimeters if we wanted to. So 1 meter we know is 100 centimeters. Therefore, 8 of them, if we multiply this up by 8, we've got to do the same here. If 1 meter is 100, 8 meters would be 800. And we also know that 0.1 meters, we proved just now, is 10 centimeters. So here, 8.1 meters or 8.10 meters is the same as 810 centimeters. And you can see there's a link between the digits here. You can see we've got an 8, a 1 and a 0, and we've got the same here. Okay, the question up the top here is saying, can you say how many meters and centimeters there are here? 8.12 meters. Well, we know, we can see there, whole meters are 8. So we know that we've got 8 meters. The real tricky part here is what comes after the decimal point. It says 0.12 of a meter. Well, if we put that back onto a bar, we can see there our whole bar is 1 meter or 100 centimeters. 0.1 would be 1/10. Okay, so that would be 10 centimeters. And then we've got 0.02. We've got 2 centimeters. Okay, and you can see that in this block here. All right, then you've got your centimeters demarcated there. So we would have 10 centimeters and then 2 centimeters. And 2 centimeters would be 2/100ths of a meter or 0.02. So in this particular question where it says we've got 8.12, well actually what we've got is 8 meters and then we've got 10 centimeters and then we've got 2 centimeters. So we'd have if 10 centimeters and 2 centimeters, if we combine that, we get 12 centimeters. And again, if we look at that, trying to show you in numbers, we know that 1 meter is 100 centimeters. We know that therefore that 8 meters then would be 800 centimeters. We've got 0.1 of a meter, which is there, is 10 centimeters. And we've got 0.02 of a meter is there, which is 2 centimeters. And if we add all these together then, so 800 plus 10 plus 2, we would have 812 centimeters. And we can see how this means that 8.12 is the same as 812 centimeters. And again, you can see that the digits being used, 8, 1 and 2, are here. So the question here is saying, who jumped the furthest and how do you know? Well, this chap here has jumped 8.07 meters. So how many meters and how many centimeters? Well, we know that there are 8 whole meters. So we've got that up there, look. And then, well, we don't have anything in the 10 centimeter column there, the tenths column. So we know that there are no tenths, but we do have 7 in the hundredths column. Well, 0.07 would be 7 centimeters. So he's jumped 8 meters and 7 centimeters. Now this chap here has jumped 7.7 meters. So we know he's jumped 7 whole meters. But how many centimeters has he jumped? Well, the tenths column here has 7 in it. That means that he's jumped 70 centimeters, 7/10ths of a meter. So he's jumped 7 whole meters and 70 centimeters. So who's jumped the furthest? Well, it's this chap. Okay, not only has it's this chap here. We don't really need to look at the hundredths and the tenths really, because the whole meters show us that he's jumped 8 and he's jumped 7. Okay. Now, if we wanted to prove this, you can see that we know that 1 meter is 100 centimeters, therefore 7 meters would be 700 centimeters, and 0.7 would be 70. So if we recombined and added those together, we'd have 770 centimeters. And over here, we've got 8 meters, which is the same as 800 centimeters. And we've kind of got the graphic wrong here, I think, actually. It says 0.7 of a meter here. Actually, it should be 0.07 meters, which is 7 centimeters. So 8.07 meters would be the same as 807 centimeters. And you can see again, these digits are the same. There is a link there. Okay, for our guided practice then, there are 5 distances here. And what we want you to do is to tell me in centimeters, how far did each person jump? Okay, press pause when you're having a go at this, and then press play when you're ready to resume. Okay, ready for our answers then. So 4.10 meters, okay. And not easy for me to show you this, but I will try. Okay, so 4.10 meters would be the same as 4 meters and 10 centimeters, 410 centimeters. And again, look at the link between the digits. You've got the same digits, 410. They're all there. So 4.01 would be the same as 401 centimeters. 3.90 would be the same as 390 centimeters. 3.92 meters, you can see, is 392 centimeters, and 3.02 meters is the same as 302 centimeters. And with every single number, you can see the digits are the same. Okay. This table shows the distance jumped by 4 athletes. It says Greg beat Mitchell for the gold medal by how many centimeters? What I want you to do before you answer the question is to press pause and just think about what you might need to do to answer this question. Press play when you're ready for me to just go through what you need to do, and then we'll set you off to start. Okay, the best way to answer this question is to look. So you're looking at Greg and Mitchell, so you know you're dealing with these 2 distances here. Now, what I would do if I was you, and using what you've learned so far in this lesson, is I would change both of these two. I would change both of these 2 into centimeters, and then I would subtract Mitchell from Greg, and that would find me the difference. Okay, so press pause, do a bit of converting, bit of subtraction, and then we'll come back together and discuss the answer. Okay, so here I'm looking at Greg. Now, Greg has 8.31 meters, or he's jumped 8.31 meters. That would be, I know, 831 centimeters. And I know that Mitchell's jumped 8.16 meters, which would be 816. So if I took one from the other, I would know that Greg has jumped 15 centimeters further than Mitchell. Okay, I want us to look at question B here. Michelle lost the bronze medal to Will by how many centimeters? So again, if I look back at the table, Will jumped 8.12 meters and Michelle jumped 8.11 meters. So I'm going to be looking at the difference between these 2 distances. And here, 8.12 would be the same as 8 meters and 12 centimeters. You can see that here, 12 centimeters. Michelle has jumped 8.11 meters, which will be the same as 8 meters and 11 centimeters. So the difference between 12 and 11 is 1 centimeter. So unfortunately for Michelle, he lost the bronze medal to Will by 1 centimeter. Okay, now it's time for your independent learning task. Please can you complete worksheet 9 on pages 81 to 82 of your workbook. Press pause now while you work. And press play when you are ready to look at the plenary. Okay, now it's time for the plenary here. Now we go back to our in focus task at the beginning of the lesson. Now, we've got, the question was, who jumped further? Was it Mauro or was it Sebastian? So the first thing we need to look at is Mauro and Sebastian's distances. Now they're not easy to compare here because they are shown in different ways. One is shown in meters and centimeters and one is just shown in meters. So the important thing to do would be to turn them both, turn one of them so that they are the same as the other. Now I would take Sebastian here if it was me, and I'd be looking at this and I'd say, okay, 8.10 meters. Well, that's this. I'd be turning that into meters and centimeters. So I know that it's 8 centimeters. 8 meters, and I'd be then looking at these two digits here, and I'd be saying, okay, I know that 0.10 of a meter is 10 centimeters. So Sebastian then will have jumped 8 meters and 10 centimeters. And if I then compare that to Mauro, well, 8 meters and 10 centimeters is further than 8 meters and 1 centimeter. So Sebastian has jumped the furthest. Hopefully, you can see how our learning this morning has helped us to be able to solve that in focus task. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next lesson.